Time now for the speech. The speech is finished, has it? No.
Yeah, that's right. See you later. A little bit about me. Geez, I can't even read it. Born in Taree, hence the blue colours. Can't just get away from it, that's right. First job was a paper boy. Does anyone remember what a paper boy was?
Yeah. Other way. Oh, other way. It's in your eyes.
So,
Is that right?
did my first loan application when I was, so after that I was before I was a paper boy, but after that I went to, did my first loan application in 74. That's 50 years ago. Retired from the bank after Dad's 30 years and my 5. Had a gut full of the bank up to here. Sorry, Tony. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean though, don't you? Joined AGC in Newcastle, New South Wales. Wow, now that was so different from bank culture. Then I was poached by Delforce Group as a business manager, finance writer for car finance. So, you know, they were the old F&I guys. You know, somebody was wanting to buy a car, then they were like shoved in with me, and then we closed the deal on payments and that sort of thing. That's how we did it. Eloped with the girlfriend at the time to the Gold Coast in 84, who I married quite some time later. 2 boys, 4 houses. We've got 1 unit now. After various dealerships ended up, that's another story. After various dealerships ended up at Hinterland Tire and Rang in 1984. Fell into Hinterland Money Solutions. I never thought I was going to be a finance broker. It's just one of those things that you just fall into. Buying my shareholders out at the end of the year, then I'm truly the boss. So it's pretty exciting for me. Next thing. So as you can see, I've been around the block once or twice. Think I'm experienced? Think I'm enthusiastic? Empathetic? Absolutely. So these are my siblings. That's my grandson. There's 4 generation Spooners up the top there. That's my new little addition here, my granddaughter, which I'm going down to see next week, in a fortnight. And then my son's bug rising around anyway. Sorry, mate. It's just that I'm there. So I love my guitars, play a bit of that. Maybe, Dan, we can have a jam session sometime. This is me in an Elton John concert. Fantastic. I wanted to be on there with him, but nah. I love this stuff, wine tasting, and that's just a shot of us last week at the Country Fest, which we had a ball. We were there 3 days. So anyway, before we get into it, we've got to do a GAW. What do you reckon, Maureen? Have I done the right thing? Nailed it? So what this means that if don't listen to anything that I say, right? If you do anything, it's not my fault. So being a finance broker, this is the sort of stuff you've got to have. You've got to have all these things, and you've got to be patient, approachable, have some humour about it, really good listener, those sorts of things, and take it down into all those sorts of things. So do you think that I've got those attributes? Well, over that time, I've learned them, that's for sure. You just automatically get it. That's me a shot in Broadbeach. I don't know. Must have been a while ago. So how many times have you heard this? My bloody bank knocked me back. I have been banking with them forever. I should be able to walk in and they should throw the money. Sorry, Tony, again.
That's all right, mate.
Where's my bloody loyalty got me? So why will you need to get finance a lot for me? A lot has changed in the finance world since the Royal Commission. Bank criteria has changed. All banks and financiers have altered their credit policies. They are still changing almost daily. How the hell can you guys keep up with that? We have to. It's an absolute minefield out there, these lenders changing their appetites for different purposes, sometimes daily. So what we do is we have to keep up to date with that stuff. So we get a barrage of newsletters, credit criteria hits our desk all the time, so that's what we do. So this is a good one for everyone. This is the first question most of the people will ask me, is what interest rate am I going to be paying? Is that like a bit of a sensitive question? That's for sure. Well, it's like how long's a piece of string? Depends on what you want it for. That depends on the risk involved and the cost of funds. So banks and financiers just like any business. So they buy the funds, then they've got to have a margin, and then they've got to lend it out. So what they've got to do is they've got to make a bit of money to keep the staff there, all those sorts of things. So, you know, you've got an RBA figure, then there's some profit got to go on that, and then there's a base rate for the financier lending it out, because they've got to make money, otherwise it wouldn't be there. What are we funding? What's the purpose? Is the loan secured or not? So is it secured over an asset, or is it unsecured? So lenders are not going to lend the money unsecured if they haven't got their teeth into something, if you know what I mean, that they can come and get back. Is it new or is it used? Is it private sale or supplier? So private sale is a bit more rigmarole to verify what the asset is, whether it's real or not, all those sorts of things. So we do all that. Strength of the client or business. So if you're a startup and you've only been in the business for 5 minutes, obviously it's a bigger risk for the financier, therefore they're going to want more skin in the game. So if you've been a long-term business owner, that type of thing, you'll get a better deal around the place because the risk is not quite as high. So it's all about risk. Are the directors asset backed? So, you know, are they renters, or, you know, we've got to put, you know, one of the biggest knockouts is if you've got a director and he's boarding at home with mum and dad. That's not real. That doesn't look real good, does it? What's his problem? Have they got a previous good record? Affordability, that's a big one. They've got to make sure that they can pay it back. GST registered or not. GST registered is, you know, like if you're not registered for GST, it's a red flag to the financier straight away that they're not earning, you know, there's not a big turnover, that type of thing. So they're not going to lend them 100 grand. But we've got financiers that'll lend them 40 or 50, just a conservative figure. See how you go. By the way, please get registered. How long has the AB been in operation? I'll touch that. Type of industry. Like if it's a whorehouse, they're not going to lend money to that. That sort of thing. But I'd probably find a lender to do that. I don't know.
I'll go to the Bank of Queensland.
Wholesale cost of funds from the lender's course, profit of their base. Anyway, there's a bit in that question, isn't there? So if any of you want to know what interest rate I can get, give me a call. I'll sort it out after about half an hour. So cash flow business loans, these can help small businesses over a little bit of a period, that type of thing. So a perfect example was visiting that are marketing subdivisions that, because they were on hold up with business council approving these lots for sale, the business developed a cash flow issue. I was able to find a lender to get them $500,000 against an unencumbered yacht. Was an accountant referral that gave me that. Simply a leg up in business. Another quick one was a lady that has an air conditioning business. In winter time, she came to me and she wanted a 100 grand facility to buy air conditioners that she found online or something like that. So she stockpiled those 100 grand's worth of air conditioners, retailed out of them in summer, and made a nice handsome profit. So she retailed and just gave her a step up in her business. So she didn't have to come and see me next year, the year after that. So there's basically two types of lending. I like to concentrate on this one, much more fun. Consumer and personal lending, well, they're the ones like, you know, the girl that works at the checkout at Coles, and then under regulation now we've got to go through all these stuff that we've got to sort of make sure that that person doesn't go into hardship. We'll do them, but commercial and business lending, they're predominantly for business purposes. So if we can establish that the funds are for business use, and the word predominantly, it means more than 51%, we can do then a commercial loan, etc. So some of those products are chattel mortgages, you know, all sorts of stuff like that. So important credit tip, be aware about your credit reporting. All your repayment history is now recorded on your credit file. So these can be a real, you know, telltale for financiers to have a look and say, well, did you pay your bills, you know, and are they on time? And if you're late, that sort of thing. So we can see late payments on things like credit cards and loans. I have the facility to have a soft touch on your credit file. which doesn't, it's not a hit on your file. It just has a look at your credit file, just see where we're going with it, that type of thing. So 9 times out of 10, we go to the credit file first. Let's just see where you've been. There's so many people out there that have forgotten that credit card that's sitting in the drawer for $4,000 and they don't use it. Oh, but I don't use it. Well, you could tomorrow though. So they're the things that we have to look at that. So make sure you make your minimum payments on time. So these are my loves. I love financing Tonka toys. The bigger the better. So I just finished off a digger for $300,000 last month. That was pretty good. And done a couple of prime movers and cranes. I don't do too many of them. I'd like to do some though. So anybody, there's plenty of cranes around here. I'd like to do a couple of them. So recent solutions. I'll have to come over here and read that. Non-asset backed sole trader with new NDIS contact, ABN short term and not registered for GST wishes to upgrade her vehicle for the new contract. I found one lender that had an appetite to do it. Solved. I got that deal off ished. New company only 5 months old, no previous company, only PAYG, obviously no financials, with one director but asset backed with good mortgage credit. So the deal was because she had previously good credit. That's the sort of thing that we can sort of go to and we find a lender that can do it. Private sale utility for film industry. Only one wanted to touch this. Got it with 0 deposit. So they financed the whole lot because of that. So I've got to go in and find what a finance is looking for to grab the deal to sell it on. Real estate sole trader company, between her sold and pending, oh, this is a good one, sold and pending settlement homes. So technically speaking, when she made the application with us, she wasn't asset backed. She was renting at the particular time. So we had to demonstrate that she was just getting out of one and going into another one and waiting for the settlement in between. Now, conforming lenders, they go, that's a knockout. She's not asset backed right now. So we're not going to do it. So I found a lender that I could talk to, explain the situation. They copped it on the chin. They gave her an asset-backed rating, which was good. And then, I don't know, competitive lender that I could talk to and get it done so that she can drive a new car into her garage on settlement day. Various business caravan loans. Don't you love these, Shaz? Where a tradie or business needs it, perhaps on-site works and remote accommodation. So, you know, I get laughed at all the time. You're financing a caravan for business use. How the hell do you do that? Well, there's a lot of tradies out there that got a legitimate reason for it. We didn't know that they were hooking up the thing and going to Melbourne for a holiday. It's not nothing to do with it. Done plenty of these, even a boat for a roof plumber who can carry his tools to Moreton Bay Islands. So you've got to think outside the square and you've got to find a lender that'll wear it, that type of thing. So, you know, it's not everyone's cup of tea. I've heard it all. 2 minutes. My perfect referral generally is any business. I haven't heard of any business on the planet that doesn't need money for something. I reckon of all bases covered. Please listen for anyone talking about, you know, upgrade, accident, breakdown, expansion or complaint about running their business. Please, my great team, ask the next question. Just ask the next question. Do you need funding for some money for, you know, to help that make that happen? If the answer is yes, that's my perfect referral. Money is one of the top conversation or complaints that people have. So members and guests, if you hear the word money, think Hinterland Money Solutions. Any questions, guys? Can fix you, no problem. Come and see me after the meeting, anything? So there's a lot of people here I know.
So when you're trying to get finance out, do you then approach, if none of your lenders can come to the solution, do you then approach like Bank of Queensland or do you have... How do you come to the rescue?
So most of my panel are non-bank financiers. So there's a million of those actually just cropped up since the Royal Commission, that sort of thing, because the bank's got a walloping in the Royal Commission, and a lot of them have actually just pulled back and they're selecting of what they want to do and all those sorts of things. Whereas there's a lot of lenders out there that have got funds and they're happy to have a crack, if you know what I mean. So they're the ones that we normally go to solve these, those tricky ones. And then whereas, ANZ, the big four aren't going to be interested in that sort of stuff. So, and then these financiers are making it easy. They don't want to see financials. They don't want to see that. GST registered, good credit file, bang, just give them the money. That's how it goes.